How many customers could be affected? Well, 66,000 in Sonoma County alone, 130,000 customers across the North Bay, potentially 600,000 customers or more across PG&E's service area. Now, in terms of people, what is that? Well, we're into the millions here in the North Bay. About 300,000 people could be affected. Why is all this happening? Well, a big wind event is expected to begin about 10 o'clock tonight, Tuesday night, lasting into early Thursday. Winds gusting from 35 to 55 miles per hour on some of the higher peaks, and that means Mount St. Helena, the geysers above Healdsburg, places like that. People are preparing all across the North Bay. We talked to Kelly Hansen filling up gas tanks for her generator.
Well, the Tubbs fire was a quarter of a mile away from us, so if the power goes off, we'll be more prepared than we were last time.
Of course, PG&E is entirely in charge of when the power will be shut off and where. They've said anywhere from 12 a.m. Tuesday night tonight to 4 a.m. Wednesday morning, affecting up to 600,000 customers in Northern and Central California. That's almost 2 million people. Because of that, Mayor Tom Schwedhelm of Santa Rosa and Supervisor David Rabbitt of the County of Sonoma are among those who have asked the governor for an emergency proclamation.
What I was initially briefed yesterday was going to affect 600,000 meters. And when we say meters, that's just the PG&E, like say, customers. There's usually 3 people on the average attached to each meter. So we're talking over 1 million folks. I've heard upwards of 250,000 people may be affected just in Sonoma County. So absolutely, this is not a Santa Rosa or Sonoma County issue. To my understanding, there's 29 different counties impacted by this. To me, that meets the definition of a state of emergency for this whole state.
Now, what we're going to do right now is throw up a website graphic that'll tell you where you can go to determine whether or not your address will be affected by the shutdown. PG&E's website has been down for like 2 or 3 hours on Tuesday. It may be down off and on, but this website that you see here will allow you to go there and check to see if your address is affected. Of course, many addresses across Sonoma County and the North Bay will not be affected. Some will be. More will not be affected than will be. One of the places that's not going to be heavily affected is West County, West Sonoma County, and that's where Supervisor Linda Hopkins has her constituency. She talked to us today.
You know, it's kind of crazy to me that in 2019 we are allowing a for-profit corporation to decide what is in the best interests of the public, right? And while de-energization is critical, there's literally no transparency or accountability or even really collaboration with local governments to determine how and when these decisions are made. They're not really looking at the big picture. PG&E right now is just looking at their own liability and trying to minimize their own liability as much as possible.
Of course, it's not just the supervisors of Sonoma County who are frustrated with PG&E and their communication. Customers all across their vast service area, from Shasta County down to Santa Barbara, are frustrated today that more information isn't coming out earlier. Now, PG&E may pare down the areas that are shut off, but right now we don't know the extent of the wind event. And Tuesday afternoon, as we're standing here, the winds are very light on the hills above Santa Rosa. They're expected to gust up to 25 to 35 miles per hour in this location, as high as 55 miles per hour in the higher locations of Sonoma and Napa County later on. So we'll update you on what's happening, what the latest situations are, and also the public safety power shutdown, how extensive and wide that will be, coming up on News of the North Bay. So stay with us.